Bernard. I mean, that guy is just everywhere. I had so much concern going into the season about the linebacker position, not because we lost Tremaine Edmunds. I never liked him, but because I didn't really think we had a guy who could play. And you better believe Bernard is the real deal. I mean, we're a month into the season, and it's not a question of, oh, have we gotten worse? Or, oh, are we just hanging on? Bernard is infinitely better than Tremaine Edmunds ever was. And Tremaine Edmunds made the Pro Bowl multiple times. And look, some of that is playing with Milano, but Tremaine Edmunds also played with Matt Milano and also played with Micah Hyde and also played with TreDavious White and also played with Jordan Poyer and everyone else. Let's talk a little bit about the defensive line. This defensive line is as good as the defensive line was when we had Mario Williams. There was one year with Mario, one of the years, where our defensive line was so dominant, they were taking over games. They are doing that again. They took over the game against the Raiders. They took over the game against the Commanders, and they took over the game against the Dolphins. In all of those games, there was one consistent piece. Every single quarterback was constantly under pressure, even without sending the blitz.
Without Von Miller.
Without Von Miller. Like, that's the key piece here, is that not only are they already an elite defensive line, they're missing their best player on the defensive line. Injuries happen. Other guys could get hurt. You're bringing back Von Miller. At the very least, your deep defensive line gets even deeper. But then becomes the question of, if you have this great D-line, if you have now great linebackers, statistically they've been great, you have great safeties, how do you fix that one hole? Going into the season, we didn't look at the cornerback position really as a whole per se. Now there's a bit of a hole, not a gaping hole, but there's a hole. Once you fill that, maybe you do have one of the, if not the best defense in the NFL.
You have a top 3 defense in the NFL. You go from top to bottom, and now really you're looking at Ed Oliver having an absolute breakout season. Finally, we've been waiting for it for the last 4 years, and it didn't happen. But to me, he looks like he's finally having that breakout season. He is everywhere. He's getting through into the backfield. He's doing his dance. I love when he rides the horse. It's great. And he's everywhere. Him and Rousseau as well is having an absolute breakout.
Who, Aaron Donald's twin?
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Aaron Donald's twin. No, the two of them are finally looking like the first round picks we hope they would be. Rousseau has shown flashes and Oliver has shown flashes. The two of them seem to be putting it all together this season, beside Daquan Jones, who has been an absolute revelation there. I mean, he's been good in prior seasons, but he looks unbelievable so far this year. He's been in the backfield all game. Him and Ed Oliver have just been terrors in the middle of our defense. It's been awesome to watch.
Certainly the most complete Bills team we've probably ever seen. I would say the only piece on offense that I would love to see, not that we don't have it, I think we have it, I just haven't seen it yet, is that consistent secondary, tertiary options at the receiving position. We've seen that Dalton Kincaid is very reliable. Every time he's targeted, he basically catches it. I think he has one drop all season, and that drop was a very difficult catch in the end zone. Outside of that, he's looked super consistent. Can't say the same about Dawson Knox, but it's okay. We have Dalton Kincaid. You have Gabe Davis, who's had flashes this year. He looks better than he did last year, but I still don't quite see the consistency. Deontay Hardy, maybe he's not getting open all the time. He's doing what he can, but I would like to see a little more dimension in the receiving position because we're still very heavily reliant on Stephon Diggs. So I would love to see a little more there. But outside of that, I mean, you got to be pleased with this Buffalo Bills team.